What is up, guys? So new synopses for all the Arrowverse shows except for Legends of Tomorrow have been released, meaning Arrow Season 6 Episode 13, The Flash Season 4 Episode 13, and also Supergirl Season 3 Episode 13. For the Supergirl and The Flash videos, click in the upper corner of the video, and this video will be about Arrow, being Arrow Season 6 Episode 13, titled The Devil's Greatest Trick. And let's get into the breakdown of the synopsis. So the synopsis reads, Cayden James discovers the secret about the Green Arrow that pushes him over the edge. Knowing everyone and everything he loves is in danger, Oliver must decide if he can do this alone, or if he needs to turn to his old teammates for help. William starts to demand more of Oliver's time. So this is actually a pretty stuffed synopsis. There's a lot to talk about. First of all, it begins saying that Cayden James discovers the secret about the Green Arrow that pushes him over the edge. There's not a lot of things Cayden James doesn't know about the Green Arrow that this secret can be. He knows his identity, he knows who he works with, he knows everything about him. He knows also who he works with's identities and who he used to work with, being his old teammates. He knows everything. The only thing I could think of that he would discover that would push him over the edge, that would make him like go insane or go mad, become even madder, is either he finds out that the Green Arrow actually wasn't responsible for the death of his son and it was someone else, and that would like change his whole perspective, but still he would go crazy from it, or he figures out that his son isn't actually dead. And I know that wouldn't be a secret about the Green Arrow himself, but it would be a secret about him connecting his crime to the Green Arrow, because the reason he's doing this is because he thinks the Green Arrow killed his son or was responsible for the death of his son. So if he finds out that his son isn't dead, that would kind of be a secret about the Green Arrow, and maybe the Green Arrow is keeping that secret. Maybe his son is Roy Harper. That's a big theory people have, that Cayden James' son is Roy Harper, and he thinks he's dead just like the rest of the world, and he discovers a secret about the Green Arrow, the secret being that the Green Arrow is lying to everyone and saying that Roy Harper is dead when he's really not, and Cayden James discovers this, and that pushes him over the edge. Roy Harper being his son, it makes sense just because literally anybody can be his son. Anybody that is a guy, obviously, and doesn't have a clear father. Roy Harper doesn't have a father. At least I mean we never met his father, so it's possible that his father is Cayden James. And that might push him over the edge because he discovers that what he's been doing for the past, since whenever he was freed from Argus, has all been a lie, and that would make him go crazy or something like that. This synopsis, saying that it pushes him over the edge, it's another thing that points to him being offed as a character and Ricardo Diaz taking over, because him being over the edge, can that really last another how long is this, 8 episodes, 8 full episodes of him just being crazy? I know there are only 8 episodes left after this, but I still think even after episode 13 they could pull off Ricardo Diaz killing Cayden James and taking him over, although not as efficiently. It would have worked so much better if it was a mid-season finale twist, that they could have revealed the team a lot earlier in the season, and then a twist in the season finale would be that Ricardo Diaz kills him. That would have been great, but episode 13, only 8 episodes left. Again, it's possible they could do it. It would work. It could work, but it's so much less possible at this point. I'm pretty sure Cayden James will be the main villain until the end. But is he going to be pushed over the edge for the entirety of those 8 episodes? That I don't know. But that is, I guess, a little bit interesting, I guess. And then, knowing everyone and everything he loves is in danger, Oliver must decide if he can do this alone or if he needs to turn to his old teammates for help. That's very telling, because in episode 11 and 12, the synopses hint to the fact that the promotional photos at episode 11 show Team Arrow together, fighting together. And then in episode 12, you see that Black Canary is maybe on the team, because it says that Black Canary and Oliver have a disagreement that leads to one of their own. I don't remember what it said, but like one of their own gets in trouble or something like that. So that hints to the fact that they're on the same team again. But you see here in episode 13 that they're not, because Oliver must decide if he can do this alone or if he needs to turn to his old teammates for help. So that proves that I was wrong in my episode 11 trailer breakdown when I said that the team is getting back together. I didn't expect them to, but from the promotional photos of episode 11 and the episode 12 synopsis, it was hinting towards that. But I'm actually glad that the team is still broken up, because it was a whole big thing in episode 9 and 10 that they were breaking up, and if they're going to come back together in episode 11 or even 12, that would take away any suspension or tension from that arc, from that storyline. They probably shouldn't get back together till like near the end of the season, meaning like episode 19 or 20. That might drag it out a little too much, but I think to make this whole breakup even a little bit impactful, they should last longer than however many episodes I thought it would, which was actually going to be 1 episode. But it turns out I'm wrong, and it's going to last for at least till episode 13, because it says that Oliver is going to decide if he needs to turn to his old teammates for help, which he might do, he might not do, we don't know. But the fact that they are not they're not together, they are broken up in the synopsis in this episode, it opens the door for an Arrow civil war. And that is something I've been asking for a while now. It hasn't actually been hinted at, other than the fact that they're broken up and they're arguing from time to time. It's not been announced or hinted at or anything. It's just something that I really want to happen and I've been asking for. So the fact that they're still broken up in episode 13, it opens the door for a civil war in episode 14 or maybe 15 and 16. We don't know yet, but it opens the door for that. But even though I want it to happen, I doubt it will, because nothing of the sort has been announced. And then the synopsis ends stating that William starts to demand more of Oliver's time. So in my trailer breakdown for episode 11, I said that I'm interested in seeing William's reaction to seeing Oliver as the Green Arrow, because William doesn't know that Oliver is the Green Arrow again, and I said that I'm interested in that. I didn't say I'm anticipating it. I directly said I'm not anticipating it, but I'm interested in seeing his reaction. Now, what I'm not interested in seeing is William starting to demand more of Oliver's time. Not because it's going to lead to him retiring and Diggle becoming the Green Arrow, because even though that sucked, it's not going to happen again, because they did it already. It's over. They're not doing it again. There's no way they're going to do that, because if they were going to do that, then that was their chance, and they did it, and now it's over. They're not going to do that again. But the reason I don't want to see this again is because we already saw it. We saw it in episode 1 and 2. We saw William demanding more of Oliver's time, mainly in episode 2. And while it was actually pretty good, it didn't end well, but it was pretty good. While it was happening, I kind of wanted Green Arrow to retire, for Oliver to retire as the Green Arrow, which, like, major props to the actors and the writers for making me feel that, because obviously I want Oliver to be the Green Arrow and the main character of the show. And it didn't end well, but during this episode, I kind of felt like I wanted it to happen. And now, I just feel like they shouldn't reuse storylines ever. Like, they gotta come up with new ideas. This season, they reused the Oliver being outed as the Green Arrow thing for the 3rd time, and that's just crazy. But now that they're repeating storylines within the season. William demanding more of Oliver's time happened already 10 episodes ago, 11 episodes before this one. So the fact that they're reusing something from a couple episodes prior in the same season, not a couple, but like a dozen episodes prior in the same season, is ridiculous, and that's just the main reason I don't want to see this. Also, because I feel like it'll get annoying seeing William demand more of Oliver's time for more than the 1 episode we got in episode 2. And also, I don't remember like too much, but maybe in episode 1, but more than that, that's really enough. We don't need to see more of that. So that's the reason I don't want to see this whole end of the synopsis being William starts to demand more of Oliver's time. So I'm iffy about this episode, whether I'm excited for it. I am excited for it just because I want to see every episode of Arrow. I wouldn't say I'm excited for every episode, but I'm interested in seeing every episode. And Cayden James still being the main villain of this season, episode 13, is a little bit disappointing. But like I said in one of my videos, him like taking control of the city and Green Arrow and T-Man having to take it back by the season finale, it is actually pretty interesting. And the whole thing of Oliver must decide if he can do this alone or if he needs to turn to his old teammates for help. I hope that the team doesn't come back together until like later in the season, but I am kind of interested in seeing whether or not Oliver decides to ask them for help, and whether or not they agree to help him. And then the last part, like I said, I'm not that excited for the William part, But anyway, let me know what you thought about the synopsis in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. Thanks for watching.